get this started and then I'll show you. Multitasking, of course. All right, that is working. I just want to show you that the knowledge base is actually starting to um, be updated now, believe it or not. Um, it's only been 6 years, so we're just easing into it. But what I want to show you is so there's lots of articles and things now that are about how to do certain things on Obvio. Um, but we've been updating these now too. So what's cool is that if you're interested about what might have been discussed in one, then see how now we're talking like we've actually got key topics that have been covered in these calls. And so if you don't have 2 hours to waste, or are wanting to be put to sleep by me talking, then you could just go and look at this for 30 seconds, and be like, oh yeah, I'm interested in that or that, or I'm not at all interested in any of that, so I'll skip it for this week. So anyway, that's at help.obv.io, is how you can find that. All right, I'm going to double check questions that have been posted on the dashboard. There's a ask a question button, and there we go. We have got a couple. Cat King. Hello, Cat. How do I change my name to the main stage? Good question. All right. Shall I take these as separate? I guess I will. Changing your name as the host, like when you have started the meeting, is that what you're saying? Yep. So you can just it it
I know how to
depends on.
change it in the room, but I do it every
Yes.
time. And it's like, can I just change it somewhere? So every time I go in
Yeah.
my room, it says my name because it just
Yes.
always says my old email, and it's very frustrating. It's like one more detail I have to keep on doing. It's like, why?
Yeah, that's very odd. What that is
So tell me how to
you.
fix it.
Well, yeah, I think I need to fix it. Because
Oh,
it's an.
please fix it, Grant. Please fix it. I
I think
appreciate it very much.
it's an account level thing.
Oh, okay. So I
Um,
should have just put it in the little email thingy instead of coming here. I apologize.
no, 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 not at all.
Yeah.
No, it's
Okay.
this is the exact place to ask about that. It's very odd that so it's putting your email address in as your name.
Yeah, it puts Catherine Simple
What?
Kings, which is my workshop email. I'm putting all my workshop there, not to confuse it from my farm or my business. And
Yeah.
Hey,
so
Grant,
it always puts my
Hey,
workshop
Justin.
email. How I
Okay,
registered
I
in Leap.
gotcha.
I just fixed it for her. Her last name was set to her email address. So now
There
it
we
is
go.
set to King.
Okay. Thank you, Justin.
There we go.
You're welcome.
So now it will work. The way that it works is that it's taking uh, the username for the account, the Obvio account. So no matter what event it is, it was taking that. And so now that we fix that, it should just come in as Cat King. So
Cool. Thank you.
easy. All right, next
All of
one.
mine are little minor things like that.
That's
They're
good. No,
just
that's great.
minor
That's what
things.
this is for. Uh,
So you know how when we
oh yeah.
come into our Leap dashboard, it says, "Welcome to your dashboard, Cat King."
Oh yeah. Yes.
I can't do that for my people, and I want to know how do I do that because their name's not
Sure.
coming up on the dashboard.
Sure. Yep. So there are custom fields or not custom fields, like almost like merge fields. And I'll just show you this one. It'll show it very
Yeah,
quickly
just
for
teach
you.
me how to do it so I
Yep,
can
right here.
make sure
Right
it's
here.
done in the future.
No problems. So see on this dashboard, on the one we're on right now, and the one you just came through,
Okay, what Justin
it
just
would
put
have
in,
said,
that's what I need to do on the title.
Wherever you want to do it, anywhere on the dashboard, you can put in these. So curly bracket, first
Yes, sir.
underscore name,
Gotcha. Just
curly bracket,
just add that to there. I gotcha. Thank you, sir. That's my
wherever you
next one.
want it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Next. Check off this second one. Okay.
Cat's in a hurry, everyone. All right. You can see
Well, I
we're
don't like taking other
plowing
people's
through.
time up.
This is your time, Cat.
Oh, thank you, sir.
It's 6:30 in the morning for me, and so I've got plenty of time, and so let's not rush this. We're
Yes, sir.
let's just get into a nice gentle jog through your questions.
Yes, sir. We'll do your gentle job. You got it.
All right. Let's see. Number 3 on the menu for signing in. I haven't been able to change the blue lettering to what I want on the
Yeah,
menu for
you know how
signing
they
in.
can put their email in to sign in, like the first, I don't know when they do it anymore, but underneath it, it
Okay.
says sign in. I'm trying to change the normal leap blue or Obvio blue, and I want it to be
Yep.
white because my background's green, and the blue just
Mm-hmm.
looks like it fades into the green, and it's like, oh, it's really upsetting. And I clicked on everyone, looked at every little menu. It's like, I don't know
Couldn't
where to
find it.
do
No
this.
worries. What
So I
event
only
is
brought
this
you the
one?
ones that are the little things that are pissing me off.
Fair enough. What's the event that you're working on this one?
Okay. It's either the intensive or it's probably the summit, the Rooted Woman Summit.
Okay.
I think I was working on that one first, so it's probably that one. I think it's that one.
Okay. Let's have a looky. I'm just bringing that up now.
I have one baby event, my Monday, and then my Rooted Mondays. It's under Growing with Cat King, not Curiosity Cubed. Curiosity Cubed is what I have with Melissa.
Okay, great. Yes, got it. Going with, yep, got it. All right,
So
let's have
it'll
a
be
look
the same on all of
here.
them. You teach me how to fix one, I'll go fix the other ones.
Sure. All right,
But you know which one I'm talking about, right? The
I
little
believe
one that they
so.
put
Let
the
me show
email
you
in to
this.
sign in.
Is is this what we're looking at?
No.
So it's like, sorry, like this.
Oh. mm.
Nope.
No, it was green. It had my logo on it. So that's not it. No, I haven't done intensive yet. I think it was a summit, is what I told you. No,
Sorry,
I
I've
haven't.
got the wrong one.
I just have it saved as an event, but I'm working on the summit because the summit's on the 10th.
Okay,
I'm not going to
so
do the intensive until I finish the summit. Yeah, that one.
so this one. Okay,
Yes, sir.
okay.
I
So
think
then,
it's that one. If it's not, blow it off and
okay.
okay, try Rooted Monday, please.
Oh,
I'm
good.
sorry, but
You're fine. You're
another 10
fine.
seconds. Yeah,
This one.
that one. Yeah,
All right.
it's got to be that one.
There we
Yeah, there you
go.
go.
All right.
Okay, I see it a different color here when I'm doing it. I see sign up in that black right there. But when I see it as that bright blue. So, and see, I was trying to get the dark, or I was trying to get white actually. So, how do you change that color? Just show me how to change that color and I'll get going. Because I thought I had it right at one point, and then every time I go to it, it's that. It didn't look like that.
Okay. Oh, like
Okay,
that
never
blue
mind.
there?
Looks good. Looks good. I have no freaking clue what I was looking at. I should have taken a picture. But no, that's what
Well,
I wanted to look like. That's all
unless
good.
you were seeing that.
No, it was
No?
the bright blue.
Okay.
Never mind. It
So
it took
maybe
it,
you
it took one of my corrections at some point and I didn't notice it. Okay.
okay.
That's that for that one.
Okay, that was easy. Good
Okay.
one.
Did I put anything there about the link for my
Yeah.
speaker
For
dashboard?
yes. It's the best way to make
Okay.
sure my speaker have the correct link to the speaker dashboard. Is it the
Yeah.
same position I'm
So
on? Hmm.
they're not going to be a regular attendee, right? So I just want to know the logical way, the best way for me to get my speakers signed up. Do they have to do the normal sign up or do I do them manually? and just
Yeah,
put their emails in? What's the best way for me to do that?
it's a great
Do you
question.
understand my question,
I
first
do.
off?
I do. It's
Oh,
common.
I love
It's
you,
a
Grant.
it's a common question and it's a good one. And so
Okay.
that is that um, when we think about speakers, particularly sort of fly in, fly out speakers, like they're not coming to your
Yes.
whole event. They
No,
don't care about your dashboard. They don't care
no,
about your resources and whatever, right? And
no.
so the way that we tend to handle speakers is that we want to give them a direct access link. And so that's where they can go directly into Zoom and bypass the dashboard. They also don't need to be signed up in any way. They don't need to be created. You can just give them, and I'll show you.
They can if
Um,
they want, though, right?
sure, like if they wanted to be a normal attendee and see all
Then they
that,
have to
then great.
register.
Yeah, or you can
Okay.
set them up. You could manually add them and then give them their magic link, and then they will go to the dashboard, and that's all fine. But if you just want to get them into Zoom, in Zoom areas that I'm looking at here, if I just go to an example area, then we go to the room. So I hit on room, and then
Room.
I've already enabled it here, but enable direct room access, and this link right here is what you give them. And so what'll happen is
Copy link.
you don't have to sign, you don't have to add them to any special list or anything. You literally just give them that link and you'll see, I can't remember how we have this. Yep.
Okay, let me go over the steps again and make sure I got it right. I
No
go to
problems.
Zoom areas, then I go to
Yep.
Zoom, I mean the room, and then I go to enable
Yep.
direct access, copy the link.
Yep.
And then if they wanted to be at the event, I could just manually add them if they want to be at the whole event and get all the emails.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Do you have a lot more questions? I do have one more question.
These rapid fire questions are working great.
Okay, cool.
And I'm sure
This next
everyone's learning
question has
something.
to do with someone who hosts events. As a matter of fact, I found out about her because she was hosting a Jimbo's Summit. So I hired her. And she doesn't want to do my dashboard. She only wants to do Zoom, the normal Zoom, and handle everything, go high level. And my thing is, no, I want this. Well, what's the best way to meet? I was wondering, may I bring her to one of these Obvio things that if I don't explain it the right way, you can help her know that it's the same thing, it's only this different? Is
Sure.
is that am I being too obstinate that I say, no, I want my dashboard? Because this one I'm hosting, but there's one in August that she's hosting.
Uh-huh.
And she's like, nope, not going to do it that way. And I'm like, I want to tell her you would get all the lead people to know that you already have experience in Obvio. It would help you in your business if you learn how to do this. That's what I'm
Sure.
hoping she'll listen to me about. But can you walk me through to show me how easy it is for someone to do that? I know Justin already knows, but I already used up my time with Justin.
Yeah, so before Grant dives into this, I just want to say at the end of the day, it's your event and you're paying her. And as someone that
Thank you.
produces events, at the end of the day, regardless if I want to do it or not, unless there's like a technical reason, like a reason that's going to hurt you somehow, like I need to do what you want to do at the end of the day. And to use something like an Avio dashboard, there's no technical reason it's going to hurt your sales or it's going to hurt your experience or anything else. And so I just wanted to lead with that before Grant answers into the actual
Thank you,
question.
Justin, because it hurts me to even ask somebody. No, I really want it my way. I'm feeling like I'm being a real bitch about it. And it's like, it's just,
Mm.
I love our dashboard. I love our dashboard and I want my dashboard. So,
Yeah.
okay. Thank you, Justin. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree. And I think the extent that someone can be a little bit flexible and learn something a little bit newer, um, will prove to you whether they're someone you want to work with long term, right? And so, um, look, I can see it both sides, right? I give you an example of I had someone a few years come to me and say, we want to do an event, an online event, and I said, yeah, that all looks great. It looks like what we do. They said, yeah, the only thing is we want to use Teams. We don't want to use Zoom. And uh, I had a hard decision where I just said, do you know what? If you have to use Teams, you want to use Teams, then I'm not the guy for you. I've doubled down on using Zoom, and that's the tool that I use, right? And so there's other people that are great at Teams, and I would lean towards them, right? Well, she came back and said, "Oh no, we can use Zoom." So I was like, "Oh, well that was easy." And so we went ahead with the event. We did it in Zoom. But I'm just saying that there is a world where we have people that know certain tools, and it might be reasonable that they say, "Oh, I'm not familiar with that, and I can't do the best thing that I do well if I don't have the tools that I use." Now, the other caveat to all of that, though, is, and I think what actually the part of the question that you're asking is, how can we actually tell this person that the bulk of what they know is the same? Like it's really just how they get into Zoom, right? And so if we can show them that and put their mind at rest that it is actually just the way that you launch it is slightly different, then they probably would get on board and be okay, because for 90% of the show, or for 95% of the show, they're in very familiar Zoom, right? Like there's nothing about what we're doing with Zoom that is different because it's Obvio. The main difference is how you launch it and how you're the host. And so
Okay.
and so anyone, I'll say this for everyone, anyone's welcome to these calls, right? If they've got a vague interest in Obvio, or your team member, they're coming on, you want to bring them along, push them in here, ask a question and have us answer it and make sure that they understand it, then by all means. Um, and they can even sign up as themselves as well, and they can join. And so,
Okay. That's
yep,
my next question. How do they come in here? Do I copy the link when I'm here and give it to her? Or what do you mean they sign up?
I'm just I'm just putting it in
Okay,
the
cool.
chat
Thank
now.
you so much.
So if they
So
click
they
on
can come
that,
next week so I can like put my
absolutely,
question in. I want
100%,
time for this person to learn how to do this.
no
Okay.
problems at all. Yep.
Okay. Thank you so much. Okay.
Um,
Okay. And then
yeah,
my last question is in Go High Level. I understand that I'm supposed to make them an uh permissions for everything. What is it? The top uh,
to,
my
um,
my question about that is the permissions for them to like see everything in my Go High Level. I really feel uncomfortable about that.
for Obvio to have
No.
access, or no,
Um
your team members, or
for someone to work on my funnels and stuff
right.
is the only level that I'm supposed to give another person is like to see everything in my Go High Level.
It really is a go high level question for
Okay, never
their
mind.
support.
Okay,
No, and
that's all.
no, no. I'm saying that they would be the right people to ask. In general, I think there is some scope that you can set as to what they can see. And so when you're creating the user, you can choose what sort of permission level they have. And so I would carefully look at that. But I would also reach out to Go High Level and just say, what's the deal on that? Is that your thinking too, Justin?
That is my thinking. And I would start Cat with, what do you need them to do? That's when you reach out to Go High Level, they can let you know which permissions. If you actually look at all the permissions and Go High Level when you add a user, there is a boatload of check boxes there for various things. Almost a little bit overwhelming at times to figure out exactly what you need. But if you know you wanted to work on funnels, automations, do they maybe need to create products for a paid thing, like all those things that that person is going to need to do, Go High Level can tell you exactly what permissions would grant them that without giving them everything, because there's you probably want to hide some stuff like how much money you're making and the ability to see payments and all that funness.
Well, it's like I don't necessarily want them to see my list of people either. It's like, no, I don't want you to farm it because no, I don't trust people anymore. I don't want them to farm out all of my people and all of my this and all. Nope, nope, no, don't want to do that. So thank you, Jane, Justin, appreciate it.
I will say on that particular one, it's really hard as someone that's built funnels and workflows to not have the ability to see that. I've had clients that have not had the ability to see all the messages that went out and everything, which made it really difficult to actually do troubleshooting of the workflows and verifying that did the emails truly go out? Was the text messaging right? Did it have the right times? Because I was really blind to it. And so you kind of need that stuff a little bit. And find someone you trust.
Agreed. Good work. Thank you, Kat. Lots of good questions. All right. Jolanta? Jolanta? Is that how you say it? Jolanta?
Hey Grant, it's Yolanta. So great to see you again.
Yolanta, of course. That's right.
I'm actually
Good
here
questions.
with my team, EJ. Brought her to the
Nice.
call because she's going to be helping us. We are going live on Monday with a welcome mixer on Sunday. So that's going to be our like test playground. Thank you, Kat. We're super excited. And now that we are through with, almost through sales and marketing, we're focusing on building the dashboard. So we have a lot of dashboard related questions, if you don't mind.
Amazing. Yeah, no problems at all. I saw the first one you're talking about the event and then about lots of Zoom settings and things.
Yes.
So, what's important to know, or just to get a handle on, is where the divide is between the Obvio dashboard and then the Zoom experience itself. There is not a lot in Obvio that affects the Zoom experience. You know what I mean? So things like breakout room settings, muting, sharing, all of those normal sort of Zoom features are still normal Zoom features, and nothing really that you do in Obvio is going to make a difference to that. Does that make sense? So
Yes.
as long as the first person that starts the meeting, that opens it, will be the host, and you'll have all of the in-meeting settings that you mentioned, muting, sharing, renaming, people being able to unmute themselves, all of that is an in-meeting setting. And so you can change that to your heart's content. And really, it's best practice that every time you start a meeting, you go and check all of those, because they won't necessarily remember, if that makes sense. So it won't just stay the same. It'll reset every time you start that meeting again. And regardless, as I said, it's best practice that you double check and you make sure that all those settings are exactly the way that you want them, for people to come through. So then you're also thinking about how you're giving potentially co-host access. I don't know if you've got multiple team members
Facilitators, multiple.
yep, and you've got that sort of under control as far as how people can access Zoom through Obvio, like your team members. You're okay with all that? That's all fine?
I think so. I think
Yeah.
we just wanted to know like do they need to have like some special administrator access because these are speakers. They're not like so
Okay.
these are yeah. Go ahead.
So similar to what I was explaining to Kat, if you heard that around using the direct access link, in
Mm-hmm.
general, we wouldn't give co-host access to a speaker. We would give generally. We would just give them the direct access link, and then they can join. And then if we want to, we can make them co-host once they're in the room. So this is the difference: is that a team member that you want always to have co-host access, if they're joining from Obvio, so you've added them as a team member, they go into Zoom areas, they go to the Zoom, they click on join, they will automatically be a co-host, which is very nice when it means that your host, whoever the first person is, doesn't need to be looking out for those team members to upgrade them to co-host. If they go through the Obvio admin, then they will automatically be co-host, which is very handy for people that are, coming in and out, or they're joining at different times. You just never have to worry about making sure that they're co-host. And generally, you want your team members, however many that might be, to have co-hosts so that they can rename people, they can push people to a waiting room or push them into breakout rooms or whatever. They're kind of there as moderators, and they can help out. And so that's that aspect. But generally for speakers, you would just give them a direct access link. And so remember I was saying about some speakers are coming along for the whole ride and they're there for the full event, and you want to give them the dashboard access. You want them to be able to see the dashboard and get access to resources and whatever. And if that's the case, then sign them up as a normal attendee and have them join that way, and then they get the join links and things in the same way. If they're a fly in, fly out, then all you want to do is give them that direct access link and tell them when to come. And then generally the practice would be, which I assume you're working in one Zoom meeting, right? You're not in multiple, you haven't got multiple rooms. You're kind of under
We're
1,000
going to do
attendees.
both.
Oh, EJ, okay. All
Yeah, we're
right.
going to have
Explain that
one
to me.
main stage,
Okay.
and we have different speakers within that main stage, right? So we have a keynote speaker, and then we have three who are going to facilitate expert roundtables, which is further down my question. So I'll hold that
Okay.
breakout question.
Yep.
And then on day two, we're going to have, and you can best advise me what's the best way to do this. Ideally, because of the recording situation, right?
Yep.
Three separate Zoom rooms happening in parallel because it's one session, but for each business type. So, retailers,
Okay.
brands, and services. That's
Okay.
on day two. And those who are facilitating, in general, whoever's designated as a facilitator of like a breakout or that room, independent room, ideally they can mute, unmute, share screen. Yeah.
Okay. Good one. All right. Um, yeah. So, um, sometimes it would come down to terminology on some of this so that we can keep it all clear. Um, when sometimes we have multiple main stages as examples, right? Because we need lots of breakout rooms, and we've got hundreds of people coming. We might have 1,200 people coming, and we want to do breakout rooms of three or four, or five maybe, which means we can only have our whole room because we have a maximum of 100 breakout rooms. And so it means if we want to break out everyone, then we go down to sort of 500 people in each room. Now, room is not a great term at this point. If I say room, it means a Zoom meeting. If I say breakout room, that's what I mean. I mean a breakout room happens within Zoom. It happens within a Zoom meeting, right? So then when we talk about concurrent sessions are generally independent sessions that are happening at the same time, which is different from multiple Zoom meetings happening at the same time with the same content, right? So it sounds like you are doing concurrent sessions, but you don't have a need to have multiple Zoom meetings for your main stage. Is that correct? Yeah.
Yes and no,
EJ, I
because
got
we
it.
will have the breakout. And EJ, you can chime in if
AJ,
you want
she
to.
gave me a thumbs up.
Yeah, okay,
I'm
good.
just
I
mute.
wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Is
basically, on day one, we'll have breakout sessions from the main stage.
yeah,
Well, like
in
three to
breakout
five
rooms.
attendees each. And we only have,
Yep.
we're going to have like 200 attendees. So we're not worried about,
Yep.
you know,
Yeah.
that
Yep.
numbers.
You caught it. And so this is where rooms is being overused, right? But and I said this, we should have never called them Zoom rooms. But if we were to call it a stage, right, we've got one stage. From that one stage, we can have breakout rooms within the Zoom meeting, right? So we're never too concerned from an Ovio point of view. We're not super concerned about breakout rooms because it happens within that Zoom meeting, right? And you can have up to 100. And so however many people, as you said, you got a couple hundred people, you want to break them into groups of 5 or whatever. Well, then you got whatever that is, 20 rooms. So 20 rooms. Don't do maths. Don't do maths. Don't do it. 25 rooms. I don't know what it is.
I'm not a math
Um,
person.
there you go.
We don't
So
care.
anyway,
Yeah.
it's a number of rooms that you're gonna have to open. But so that's for breakout rooms. So we're covering a few things here. What I'm getting back to is the different attendee types and team types, right? So in my mind, what I can see is your attendees as normal. They're just going to join the main stage on the dashboard on that on the other day. They're going to have concurrent sessions, and either they're going to choose or they've already chosen the type that they are, and so they're going to see the button for just that particular concurrent session that they're going to join, right? And that's all they see. They're a business owner, retail owner, so they're going into that. Yeah. Okay. So different attendees. So a basic attendee is joining a main stage most of the time. They're able to go through into breakout rooms, do all that. That's all cool. That next day, they come to that concurrent session. They need to go back to the dashboard and join that specific one. And now they're in there. That's good from an attendee point of view. The next step up from that, I think, is kind of these. I'd use the term moderator, and so they're kind of like they're or the facilitator for that session. Arguably, they're probably not necessarily a team member from your point of view. Is that fair to say? Yeah.
No.
So they're facilitating. So they're still kind of on the outside of the team, and therefore, we do want them to have co-host access in the room that they're running, but I wouldn't necessarily give them Obvio admin access. So what it means is that your team will launch those 3 meetings, and then those facilitators would join via the direct access link. And once they're in, then the host, your team member, would make them promote them to be a co-host. And now they're up and racing. So the point in this is that direct access link in a room can access the room before the area is open, which is really handy, right? It means that no normal attendees will be able to get into that room because it'll be offline. So I'll just give you an example of this. Everyone playing along. So when we look at, I'm looking at the event that I'm in right now, and the area is open, and we can see we've got 15 people in here at the moment. So if I look at another area, so this could be one of those concurrent sessions, we can turn off the area. And now when we come to room, so the actual room here, when we click on room number 1, this is where we can get the direct access link to the room. That's what you would give that moderator, and they will join. They'll be able to join as long as the meeting has already been started by one of your team members. They will be able to join and be able to talk to them, even though the area itself is still closed, which means that attendees, if the button was available on the dashboard, when they click it, they won't be able to join until that that is open. Click that
So
open.
if you click room
Now
one
people can
again
join.
there, if you mind,
Yeah,
click room one again there. I can open this room here and it still
yeah,
won't open the area.
correct. That's
Okay.
right. So when you opening, it's not a great term either, right? It's almost like initializing, right? Because once
Yeah,
it's initialized, now you can start it. And so then you start it and that'll launch and you'll be host. And then even with all that open, if the area is closed,
great.
average attendees won't be able to get in.
I'll just need to make sure the moderator joins for the direct room access, stays in there. I
Yes,
co-host them and they don't
yes,
leave.
that's right. Yeah,
Okay.
that's right. Yeah. And whether you have your team, your team will always have the access to all the rooms, right? Like be able to see all the different areas. You would set up the three, just to be clear too, the three different concurrent sessions you would set up as three different areas, okay, so that you're not it can get confusing when you can add more rooms to an area. And the reason for that is when we're doing multiple stages, if we think of it like that. Like so that we want 5,000 people to come, so we're going to set up 5 rooms or 10 rooms in that one area. And Obvio is going to load balance all of those attendees across it. That's the reason that we have that there. In
I
your
know what you're
case,
talking about because that's in Tony Robbins events, right? They have like
correct,
thousands, yeah,
correct,
that they and then you're room one, two, three, four, five. So I understand what
correct.
you're talking about.
Yep,
Yeah,
We
we'll
don't have
just
yep,
that
need
problem.
areas. Yeah.
yep.
Yeah.
Um, so far, because your event's going to get bigger and bigger, and then you're going to
That's
have
right.
more
Yep.
people. That's right. Yeah. So, all right. So I know we're jumping around some of your questions, but it's all about access and for the different types of roles that you have. And so we've covered off attendees, we've covered off moderators. So I'm using the term moderator or facilitator, and how they would get into those concurrent sessions. And so then your speakers, I would, again, a direct access link brings them in as an attendee. Okay, they're not a co-host, and so generally your speakers in your main session, I would think you would give them the direct access link as well. Depending on what your practice would be, you're working within the same meeting. Generally, what we would do is they jump in. I can see, oh yeah, EJ's my speaker. They've come in 30 minutes early. I'm going to create a breakout room, put her in there. I'm going to jump in there, or one of my team members is going to jump in there, and I'm now going to do a quick tech check with them. Hey, how you
Mm.
doing? Do you want to do a quick screen share? That type of thing, and we'll make sure that it's all working okay.
Brilliant.
Say
That's
hello.
a great idea.
This is
Oh,
Coco
hi,
saying good
Pepper.
morning. This
Oh,
is
he can
Coco.
come to our pet summit.
Oh,
Yeah, he
nice.
should.
Oh,
Fly in all the way
Um,
from what, Australia, right?
yeah, flying from Australia. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he'll be
Hello.
our guest speaker.
Um,
just because, don't kill me, I come from a Google Meet world. Uh, if I don't make a speaker co-host and we want them to be able to present their screen for
yeah.
slides, can I manually adjust that user by user? Like I could right click and give them access from the participants list? Or
Um,
would we want them to be a co-host for that session, that area?
so, um, there's there's a couple of options on that. Um, Generally, I still like not giving a speaker co-host and just letting them share. What happens in Zoom, and we can test this just to make sure that it's right. I'm just going to go in here. I'm going into the host tools, and I'm going to, of course, it's in advanced settings. who can share, or and so I'm just going to put host only can share, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now, EJ, if you were just to try to share, I think it'll
Send
request it.
request. Okay.
Yep. And so now I say allow, um, and
Great. It'll let me now. Okay.
that's
So
interesting.
I have to make sure my moderator or speaker requests it. I can't proactively give it.
Do you know what? It's I thought it was doing something better than it is. When I allowed it, it just allows um
I wondered because the pop-up
all
said
people to do that.
multiple.
That's annoying. Well, yes, it is multiple, and so now it's like allowing multiple, which is always weird. It's when you can share multiple, multiple people have got it sharing at the same time. But if someone else was to try to share now, I think they would be able to.
Yeah, it shows that I think I would be able to. Yeah.
You just give it
The
just
other
give it a
option,
try.
Yolanta, is that I share
I'm
Claire's
gonna give it a try
slides.
there.
Look,
So you guys can see.
yeah. So,
Yeah.
yep. All right. So, it was just something that was new because of the request comes, and it's a bit easier now. Because before it would just say, the host has disabled screen sharing,
Yeah.
whereas now it actually forces a pop up to the host to enable it. But it's based around multiple host sharing, which is weird. In your case, I think that you would make them co-host,
Yeah.
to just
Okay.
make sure, because particularly when you've got a couple of hundred people, it's surprising how many people just randomly click on share and
Oh
then
yeah, I don't
click
want
like.
that to be an option.
But you,
Yeah.
but like, there's people that do that nefariously, and they're trying to whatever, whatever. But there are other people that it's always surprising to me. It's like, how is it that you've accidentally clicked the 5 clicks that you need to
Yeah.
do to share? It's like, did you not go wrong way back?
You can't
Wrong way, go
underestimate
back.
people. Yeah.
That's
No.
right. So in
But
that
anyway,
case,
we'll
I think,
co-host and
yeah,
then, if
you
our
would
speaker
co-host.
goes rogue, I can always unco-host them. That's a safer bet than letting 500 people have access. Okay.
100%. Yep. And so, but I also like the fact that they join as an attendee.
Yeah.
You make them a co-host for the time that they need it, and potentially you strip that from them after they're done as well, right? And then it just
Yeah, and when
so
they
that
went
they're
to
not
a
accidentally.
new area or room, it wouldn't automatically co-host them because they're not a team member. They're not an admin.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Yep. Yep. That's right. So, um, so now you've got that speaker. You're making them co-host so that they can screen share. Um, and I think that covers off the different types of roles that you would have. So yeah, I was just that breakout room idea works really well as a little tech check. You
Yeah.
just have to be you just got to be careful the way that you open that breakout room, that is manually assigning people to it. And so you join it yourself, and then you put your speaker in there. Now you can check with them, check that their screen share's working, all of that, check their audio's working. Okay, we're great. Now we go back into the main meeting, and we're confident as we can be, that when we throw to them, it's going to work, So,
I think we can do that during the welcome 15 pretty safely, Yolanta. It'll be the same
Mhm.
main stage, so
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
and
And mhm.
sorry, yeah, and for some people, depending on where they are in the program too, right? Like if they're first up, you may just get them to come and join. And we've done this before. We're going to open the doors 30 minutes before the show starts. Can you come 45 minutes before the show starts? We'll do a quick tech check with you, and then you just stay in there, go about your business, and but just keep it
mm,
connected. And then you know what I mean. It's like, and often people are totally fine with that. Sometimes they're more restricted in time and they can't, but it's worth asking people to um, to work to the best schedule that would work for you is the way
yeah.
that I think. It's like come an hour early, and we're going to just quickly check that everything's working nicely. Have a quick check in with you, And then if you can, just leave your computer connected. You can turn your camera off, mute it, and we know that you're there, and that gives us some comfort for when we're not like, I think our speaker's going to join my. Oh yes, now they're here now. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
that's
that's a
super
good
weird,
idea.
you know.
But in the
So that
meantime, other attendees can join or no?
so that's where you manage that by the area online offline, right?
We could still have
And
them
so
join with the direct link before it's
Got it.
exactly.
That's
publicly.
perfect. That's perfect.
Do you know
Okay,
what,
that's good.
EJ? I think I might just get you to answer the rest of the questions now. I think you're
Okay,
all over
great.
this.
I'll send you invoice.
You've you've got this. But yeah, it's exactly that. And that's why we have that area online, offline, or open close, is so that we can get all of our team members to join. We can make sure that everything's working nicely. We've worked out our Zoom settings. That looks good. And then ideally we might have some background music playing and a countdown or whatever. And now we're off and racing and we open the area, like and when we get these things in place as far as our best practice for an event, it really works well because you're pushing out the stress of the time that you start. And so I mean this for everyone, that you can you can not join too early, I think. I mean, generally I'm kind of like 2 hours out. I'm opening my Zoom meeting. I'm doing all my tests. I'm getting to like that hour out, minus 1 hour is kind of where I'm like, I want to be 100% show ready. Everything's all ready. And now I'm just picking up the tiny little bits here and there. And it's like, and now I want to open minus 30. I want to open it to everyone, and we're going to get a few people that are going to come and join. And now we're in the state. I'm not telling you how to run
That's
your
great.
events, right?
No.
But it's just good best practice.
I have a question about room settings.
Yeah.
If we do that 2 hours early, check all the settings because there's no
Hmm.
default settings. So I'm in there, I'm a team member admin, I'm changing settings. If I leave and no one's in the room, when I come back, would the settings be safe?
No,
Okay.
no, because if effectively you've just closed the meeting now, right? So you
Okay, it's
can't.
not the same, even though it's the same direct link.
Yeah. So
Okay.
um, a meeting doesn't exist, doesn't a Zoom meeting doesn't exist without someone in it. And so
Schrodinger's Zoom meeting. Yeah.
does a Zoom meeting make sound if there's no one in
Yeah. If no one can hear it.
it?
That's fine. So
Um,
Yolanta, you, me, and Matt will have our three, have a quick checklist when we join
Yep.
those three retail, whichever ones I'm helping Lynn with. So I'll probably go in there and then get Lynn set up and then pop back to main stage to help
Well, that one you're
stragglers.
talking about is for the VIP, which is the concurrent sessions. The one that you're referring to, which is a question I have for Grant, actually, is for those breakouts from the main stage that are not concurrent sessions outside of the main stage, right? It's all happening within the main stage, at least historically. If we should do it differently, I'm open to it. Um, do those record? Is it possible to record the break? No, exactly. So last year weren't able to record them either. So
So
you
yes,
yeah.
can with local
technically
record, but yeah.
can with local recording, which is an option that you can turn on. And then
Oh, what?
you just have to have somebody in the breakout room that literally clicks the local record button. It'll say record your computer.
Oh, local
And we do have
recording.
that is one of the settings that we added in the last 6 months.
Yeah.
Okay.
Love it,
They-
love it. Great. Because we are afraid of on day one sending people who are especially unfamiliar with everything, like into breakouts, within the first hour. Because it would be 90 minutes and everything, and it would be with that panel of speakers, which one person each is moderating, me, a team member, and then a speaker, right? So that speaker, so then in terms of the settings, right, to make sure that when we place that speaker into the breakout from the main stage with her 50 plus attendees, does EJ basically need to go into that breakout room with her and make sure that she has co-host status so she can mute and unmute people?
So it happens before. You need to make co-hosts in the main meeting, not in the breakout room, right?
Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay.
before they go in, you make sure that they're co-host, and then once they're in the breakout room, then they can, then they still have co-host and they can do their thing. The recording thing is a tricky one in that, um, uh, absolutely, local record can work within a breakout room. Essentially, what local record means is that the computer that the person is on, that is local recording, is whatever's happening on that screen is what's being recorded, which means they have to stay there the whole time, right? It means that if their computer, shuts down or whatever, they lose it. It means that if their internet is dropping in and out, the recording will be dropping in and out, right? So that's the difference with a cloud recording, which is recorded on the Zoom servers, um, and doesn't rely on someone needing to be there, but it is only the main session that is recorded in the cloud.
Hey,
Um,
we thought we'd have no recording, so this is a win. We can work
okay,
with whatever
you
pops
can work
out.
with
Yeah.
right. You can work with that.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
so deciding between, do I have three distinct Zoom meetings, or do I have one Zoom meeting with three breakout rooms within it, um, can be things like, sometimes you might want to do breakout rooms within those concurrent sessions, right? Like, as in,
Oh.
we've broken our whole all of our attendees into groups of three, and then that group of 50 now wants to break into breakout rooms of, three or four. And if you wanted to do that, you can't do that. You can't break out a breakout, right? But you can, obviously, if you have three distinct Zoom meetings, and then you can do breakout rooms. So it depends on some of those, and even things like spotlighting, right? Like, it's one of the things that we do, is that we want to spotlight someone. Depending on what they're doing, you want to spotlight. You can't spotlight in a breakout room, right? So it often just depends on the length of time that concurrent session's happening for, and the types of functionality that you want to do. The nice thing is with Obvio is this is kind of where it shines, because everyone's come through a dashboard, and that dashboard can easily have the links to those other concurrent sessions, versus having to share a whole bunch of Zoom links, right? You're not doing that at all. You've got it nice and cleanly on the dashboard. So I myself would tend to lean that way, than trying to do it within a breakout. Because the other thing is also people coming and going. People get disconnected. They join the main session again, and you got to say, oh, maybe you got to say, which breakout room were you in, so we can reassign you. Whereas when they disconnect, in the other way, they're going to see the button on the dashboard. They'll click that and they'll go through. They'll go straight into it. So that's the way that I would lean. And there's no cost implication on this, because you can have a whole bunch of active Zoom meetings at the same time. So you're good on that.
Okay, that helps. We'll make a call on that. You brought
Yep.
up a really good point about the attendees. Like we were planning on having someone sit in the main stage and kind of
Sure.
babysit the stage to help direct latecomers as well. So that's, I guess, the only thing. Should we have a stage still open outside of the breakout rooms in case somebody shows up to the summit late? They don't know, like even if it says join here now,
Hmm.
I don't know what's the best flow.
Yeah.
Like should we just yeah.
Yes. So there's ways of controlling, on the dashboard. You can hide the main stage button when it's not being used, right? So that they can't click it. And the only thing they see is their concurrent session that they've been assigned to. And so they click on that. Um, in this instance, sometimes we would do one of two things, or multiple things. And that is, I always like particularly when we're moving people around or they've got to find their way through different things, I like having support for them in multiple forms. And so sometimes we would set up a live chat, for example, on the dashboard. It's a bit of a advanced level move, but it is really handy. That's where it's a you can use a system like livechat.com, or Zendesk has them, and there's lots of these little
So that
chat
you'd be using
programs.
a third-party plugin,
A
not
third-party
it's not
plugin,
native to okay.
not yet. But yeah, so it and the idea is that no matter where they are on the dashboard, they can click and get help and a live text chat with your team that are just being able to help them with questions. The other thing that we often do is we call it a help desk. We just have another Zoom meeting. It's a Zoom area of its own. It's just called help desk, and it's a button that's always on the dashboard, and you just have a team member hang out there, and it's really handy for people um that, as you said, they join late or they're just not quite sure what's going on. They can click the help desk, they jump in, they see someone, you just say, hey, yeah, this is what you've missed, and this is what's happening right now, and this is what you need to go and click. So I mean, it does take some human resource, like it's another place for someone to monitor, but it is a really good experience for people. And we know that people get lost in online events all the time and we lose them altogether. And so by having a couple of these safety nets, I think it really does help people that no matter how clear it might seem to us, it may not be to them. And so having some systems there to support them, I think is really important. Same again, goes, and this goes for everyone, is having multiple ways of contacting our attendees is really important. So yes, email is the most obvious, but having them join some whatever WhatsApp group, Telegram group, Facebook group, something, 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 means that that's another place that I'm totally lost. I don't know how to get in. You're now able to monitor and chat with them and get them connected. Also, heaven forbid that something happens with Zoom or whatever, you're able to have instant contact with all of your attendees and say, this is what we're going to do. This is our backup plan. You're able to communicate with them directly and they can ask questions and whatever. So it's just a really good best practice again. Having multiple forms of communication with people is really handy. We're doing a full
That's good.
download here, and we're talking through it all now. Look out.
Yeah. You mentioned earlier in terms of funneling people, something that we've done in the past and we're hoping to do again this year is to use the waiver form function. That basically requires them to answer some questions so that they
Hmm.
get tagged onto their name. If they're a VIP, if they're a speaker, if they are a retailer, then they have one emoji, if brand, a different emoji, so on.
Sure.
So obviously we haven't tested it yet, but does that still, because you guys helped us set this up last time and we just
Hmm.
duplicated the whole event. So we're fixing what needs to be fixing, but just to make sure that kind of functionality still exists.
Yep, sure
Yeah.
does. Yeah, that all works great. Um, and yes, based on the answers that they gave in the waiver step, the form responses, we're able to create labels based on the form response. And so
Right.
now the label is what is added to the end of the name in Zoom. And so often we can use things like emojis and and so it's really clear to you. The cool thing about that too is if you are doing breakout rooms, you can filter when you're assigning people. You can filter based on that emoji. Put that emoji in the search field, and now
Okay.
only the people with that in their name will appear. And now you click, 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 and they're now all assigned to that room.
So it's
Love
just
it.
a search function when you're creating breakouts.
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
At the top, there's just a search field. You can
Okay,
put
got it.
anything in there, and so if you put an emoji in there, it's just going to show you all the people with that emoji.
There's no way to set a rule ahead of time, right?
Not for No, not for breakout rooms.
But
Yeah.
there is for concurrent rooms.
Well, yeah,
Do you
because
know how to do that,
that.
Yolanta?
Yeah, because basically we will set it up in the settings that this button can only be viewed by people tagged as such.
Okay. So it's more of the view
Well,
setting, not an auto assign. It's just what they're going to be able to click.
Hmm.
Okay.
yeah, it's kind of like they're it's kind of it's not an assignment. It's just they don't have access to anything else. It's
Great.
the only thing. So only those people are going to be able to access that.
Got it.
Which works really well because you're not confusing people with here's the three options you need to decide which one you are. It's like here's the one. And I did an event in a similar way to this where we had 12 concurrent sessions. It was 12 workshops. And the nice thing was that people just saw their workshop that they had signed up for. That's the only button they saw. And it worked really well. And so they all got the access they needed and went into the right spot.
So a question that I think will come up is if someone is assigned one business type, but then they later say, actually, I have retail and services and I want to be in the services rooms,
Hmm.
can we manually fix that for them after they've
Yes,
checked in?
yes. Two ways you could think about this. You could just change. You can change the
Label.
uh, yeah, yeah, we're talking form response here, and so you can't change the form response. But you could add another condition to the button, right? And so I always
Okay.
like when I always like when blue is on because I can read his mind as kind of like meh. Because like there's multiple ways of doing these things. It's like I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do what Grant's doing. That's the stupid way of doing it. What I was gonna say is you can send first thing first is you could send the direct access link to that person,
Mm,
right? So they've just said, I was in A, I want to be in B. Depending on where you're talking with them, how you've got that, you could just send them the direct access link to B, and now they're going to get straight into B, and you're sort of bypassing anything tricky. So that's one way to do it. The other way is to say that the condition is that the form response was A equals B, um, or tag equals B, right? And so now it's going to show it, but blue may have a better way.
I don't know
Hello,
that.
blue.
What was the first way that you said? I don't know that. Oh, the first way that you said was the direct access link.
Direct access, yeah, which is
The other
probably
way that
it's
you
the
could,
fastest.
yeah, that's the easiest. The other way you could potentially do it, I don't know that I would do this, but you could, is you're having them
That's
fill
a
out a
good disclaimer.
form.
Here,
Well,
I'm
I'm
going to
just
give you a crap idea. Here you go.
well, I'm
I'd
gonna
never
give you
do
yeah,
this.
I'm gonna give you something that could be referred to as crap code. So what you could potentially do is the same form that you have them fill out at the waiver step. You could attach that same form to a blog post or to a button and change the settings on the form to allow the users to edit their submissions. And I think this would work. You could then, if the user wants to change it, they go to that form, click it, change it to the other option and save it. And now their form submissions would be the other option. Because if memory
Wow,
serves, when you have
that's an
when you
advanced
have
level move.
well, I just it's not something that we often do because most people do it's rare to have people do some of the stuff, some of the rules that you're doing off of form submissions. It's totally doable. But usually it's based off tags. But I think that would that work? I
Yeah,
feel like it would.
I'd never thought of that, but in theory it
It
does.
sounds like a better solution than the second one that Grant offered, I think. I wasn't following the second one,
Listen,
Grant.
Yolanta, it's always a better option than the solution that Grant offered.
All right, see everyone. Bye bye.
Uh, well, okay, I have a
um,
question though.
Hmm.
Within an attendee profile, we have tags. Those
Yeah.
are different from labels?
They are, yes, they are different.
Yes,
Tags and labels are completely different things.
Okay, so yeah,
They're,
we can
although they're
manually,
related.
they're used. Yeah, they
there's
are
some
related.
rules there.
Yeah.
Okay, but so we can manually do tags. We cannot manually reassign labels is the barrier here, right?
No. The labels are just a visual. That they are just a visual item that
Mm,
goes into a user's name within Zoom. They don't really appear or behave or affect
okay,
anything else.
gotcha.
Can I just ask, like,
Um,
what CRM are you using? Oh, this is.
We had a conversation about this
Oh,
last
yes,
time.
we did. Okay,
Okay.
Is
Mailchimp.
MailChimp the answer?
Yeah, Mailchimp.
Obvio and
Basically.
MailChimp. That's our whole tool stack this time because we went all in with Obvio.
I won't start again. I won't. I won't start up again. I promise.
It's
Um,
okay. It's okay. We learned our
let me
lesson.
let me show
and
you.
I did just confirm that if you allow a user to edit their answers, you can't allow multiple submissions, which was my only concern on
Mm,
that. Which is good. Like you don't
It is
want them
good.
to be able to submit more than once because
it'll
then the form
overwrite.
submission rule will get confused.
Yeah,
So, yeah, that would work.
but
I
not.
It's
think.
that's advanced level move. I've not thought of having the same form in multiple places to be able to re-edit it. That's kind of
But
cool.
doable, right? I mean,
Yeah, I think so.
again, like I say theoretically, just because we have not done it,
We
but I
have to
think
test
it's
that.
yeah, I think it's totally doable. Yeah,
We'll
definitely do
test it
test.
out.
Doable. The
But
one thing to be aware of is it doesn't change their name in Zoom until they leave and come back.
Correct.
And so you may get people saying, "Hey, I changed my
Mm,
business type," and a team member
yeah,
can rename them, but
got
they
it.
won't auto
Yeah.
get renamed till they leave.
Hopefully that's not what we're caring about. I mean,
You'd be
yeah.
shocked
yeah,
sometimes of what attendees want.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
yeah. That's right.
I
But
guess the
but
VIP star, you know.
but
Yeah,
EJ,
I think we'll be
just
okay.
this is labels, just so you've got the
Yeah.
idea of, like, first of all, you're choosing what the condition is, right? And then you're saying, what do you want the label to be, right? And so it can be completely different. The group,
Yeah.
the group is blue, so then generate a label to be green, whatever. Like
Right, right.
you're asking what is the filter in a way, and then how do you want it to create the label, and then you have multiple labels. Whereas when we're looking at a dashboard and we're saying, like, here's a button, and what we can do here is say that tags includes test, right? And so, and now this is what I was saying about adding an extra condition. Essentially, this is saying that tag includes test and it includes testing. So in this case, it would have to have test and testing to be able to be seen,
Oh.
right? Whereas in this
Well,
example, it can be the form response, right? So here we can have form response, and then
yeah.
your favorite color is red. Oops, ah, I was clicking too fast. Um, as an example, form response, favorite color is red. So now we see
And I can
form
still
response is
do an
red,
or. Okay.
or, right, and this is what I was
Yeah,
saying
so
is
I can
that
make
you
a
could
tag
have
that
another
says
tag. Yeah,
manual retail. So it'll still
exactly.
include everyone that responded on the form, plus these few people that I manually changed.
Yeah,
Which I
top of the
think Yolanta, the direct link is obviously easy, but then we don't record it for the future of like actually this person preferred to be retail. So creating another tag that it just alert flags it for us later that, oh, Susie actually identifies as a retail, not a service. It'd be nice to log that somewhere if we don't want to do the whole Obvio waiver as a blog post at its submission, which I think is too much for in the moment,
I
right?
think so too. Yeah.
Because this will be in the moment. Hey, I got put in the services room area, excuse me, and I need to be in the retail. Direct link is quick. but we won't have a log of it. So I think you can decide whether you want that log or not.
Yeah, I'm thinking that in terms of the day one versus day two experience, right? Especially if we're setting up buttons with those settings where it's like only if you are this business type, that's where the form, where I'm not sure actually if the manual thing will override on the back end the business type, unless we're manually changing it because we want to have like just a retailer see the retail button on Tuesday.
So it would be based on their
That's not
form
a label.
response.
Yeah, that's not even
It's a
having to do with
tag
anything.
though.
Yeah. Oh, no,
So
it's not. Would they
well,
be
no,
tagged,
but
Grant?
the original thing is we'll still be able to see it, or
Mhm.
if they have this manual tag that I added.
Yeah.
Right, right.
Does
So
But
that make
Grant, when we
yes,
sense?
do the waiver form, are they tagged? Can we make it so that they get tagged if they say their retail service or brand?
no,
No. Okay.
Yes.
it's not a.
I
Did you
mean,
say
It's
yes?
not
so
a
Just a
I
label.
did, yeah. I mean, you can. There's an extra step which would involve like Zapier.
Yeah.
oh. So we would just
Um,
base it on the form field response. That's
I,
fine.
I think Blue, you need to retract that statement. I don't think yes is the correct answer to that. When it's like, yeah, but you've got to use this third party tool that's going to do some
You did it with the
fancy
help
footwork.
chat, Grant. Same
Thank
thing.
you, EJ. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so the nice thing is that if you were to do that manual override tag, when you go and download form responses, the form responses includes the tags. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
Yeah, we'd have a record of it.
And so you would have, even though it would be incorrect, it would say that, the form response was A, but then the override was B. It would at least give you the full picture.
Yeah, and I'll name it
Yeah,
something like that, like override retail, and so then you can
right.
just control F it later and change the few if you care. You might not care to be logging this, in which case direct access is obviously better
I mean,
experience for the attendee.
later on we do look back at when we do the whole event report, who was actually what
Yeah,
business. Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
It's
so add
good.
manual tag to the attendee, then
Ask some good questions.
update dashboard view
And at least I see
to
some people in the chat find this helpful. I know we spent a
Absolutely. This is covering a whole bunch of different areas, so it's all good. I want to make sure that we've covered off the questions that you've asked, though. Do you feel like there was
Well, there's a couple, like really quick ones. I
yeah,
don't know if any changes have happened in terms of how we can display the schedule of sessions. Like if there's because we have broken down so many sessions in a day, it makes that schedule block look really long. So I'm just wondering, has anything changed since we did this last time? No.
not really. No.
Okay.
And in general, and I'm sure is exceptions to wanting to provide more detail. In general, we don't provide a lot of detail, and it's sort of like when the day starts and maybe the rough end for it as well. It's like um, because often what we find is that when we put lots of details about sessions, it almost makes it optional, right? Because now we've got these details, it's like, oh, I don't really care about that one or that one, but I will come to that one. And so, um, and I don't know your event, and you might have really strong reasons for doing it, and that's totally on you. It's up to you. But that's generally why we don't have like a very detailed schedule. We want to say you come for the whole thing. We want to give you the time to come for the day, and that's going to be in your time zone. Um, and so that makes it really easy for people to know that. Uh, but yeah, there's a lot more detail that could be displayed in a better way, but we steer away from that in general. We want people to just come for the whole thing and not really know, because also we want flexibility as well. And so we want, sometimes you have a session that might blow out. You want to be able to just go with that because you've had some laser coaching, or you're doing something that's going on that's taken a little bit longer. Well, now you're 20 minutes out. People come and they're like, "Oh, this is not the session I thought," or why is everything running late? It's like, who's to say that it's running late? You're right. It's like we're running the time. We don't have to get everyone out into the foyer because lunch is being served, right? This is the freedom of an online event is there's no time and space restriction, and so anyway, I don't want to
No, that's
I'm not
okay.
trying to justify it, but that's the reason that it's not as built out a detailed full schedule system.
Yeah, that's okay. For our context, that was the feedback we got the first year that we did it was people wish they knew because they were running businesses at the same time. So they weren't able, like, if they have like certain appointments, grooming, walking, dogs, whatever,
Sure.
or some brand meeting, whatever, like they're fitting it within their
Interesting.
schedule. So that's why we gave that, and the attendance was great. I mean, this time we're doing it for the first time where it's all paid. So I anticipate, because before it was free and paid. So I anticipate like the participation level is going to be higher because there was all that buy-in leading up to it.
Mm.
But I will take your note on not like giving, too many details, like just testing with that because we've also made day two, half of it is VIP only. So it's not like we're asking for too much of everybody's time. I think they just need to know like the main things of where they need to be if they're GA or VIP, I think.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, isn't it? Because it's like I'm fascinated by this topic because um like it's seeming optional, like it's seeming like well, I can do half of it, because I need to do this other stuff. Now, if it was in person, it wouldn't be an option, right? It'd be like we're all flying off, we're doing this thing, we're dedicating our time and effort, and we're just going to give our all and our all full attention to this thing. So it's kind of like calling people out and saying, I'm kind of going to half-ass this event, like I'm just kind of going to, I'm sort of going to watch it. I'm definitely keeping all my emails open. I'm going to take calls. I'm going to do whatever while this is happening because it's just kind of a thing that I've kind of got on the side. I think it's a thing that you can call out at the start of your event because you're really just like, what if fully connecting to this really was life changing for you in your business? Like it could be. And the chances are that by you just kind of having it on in the background means that you miss a whole bunch of stuff. You're because why? Because you didn't organize yourself well enough to be able to attend this properly and fully. Like there's something about that. And it's tricky too because you want that full engagement with people. And so do you want a whole bunch of people that are kind of there? Or would you prefer to have half as many people that are 100% with you? Right? And it's something about that. And this is this is just me riffing on this because I find it really interesting for online events that people just feel like, well, I am just going to kind of do it on top of everything else. I haven't cleared my schedule. I'm just going to do it on top of my schedule. And it's like, but you deserve better than this. We all deserve better than this. It's like, let's plan for it. And so anyway, you didn't ask
The
you
other
didn't ask
thing
about that.
No, good.
too is one way we're approaching it is, GA gets certain live streams for a week or so. VIP gets lifetime access. So that's actually a sell too. If you can't be there and you can't watch it within the week, we got you. But it doesn't make the live experience watered down. Like you're saying, of like you still have buy-in if you're there. And if you're not popping in and out and getting half-assed, you'll still be able to watch the whole thing.
Yes, but if you're going to do an event half-assed while it's live, what's the chances of you doing it on demand later,
I
fully
do that
committed
all the
to it?
time. I watch all these videos of live things I couldn't be at in bed, and I watch them on 2x speed, and I get half as much as I could have. You know?
You were like
No,
1% of the attendees.
Yeah, but
yeah,
it's better than nothing. But
yeah, and
I hear what you're saying, yeah.
no, yeah, and I think I think there's a lot like our attention is being pulled in so many directions now that the chances of people going back and really engaging with that online with the on-demand content I think is really limited. Where the on-demand content is very good is for reviewing what you saw live.
Mm,
What
mm-hmm.
it is not is it is not a substitute for the live event. And so one of the things in packaging that is by saying it's not available until a month afterwards, or like 3 weeks later or whatever. The quicker you make that available is the out for people. It's like, I'll just catch this I can catch it next week on the record, and they never will. And now you've lost them. And so it's how that's positioned, I think, is really like we have an opportunity where we have connected people from all around the world. We don't even think about this now, but when you call it out, we say, isn't this amazing that people that are like-minded have all found this link and have all found their way here right now in this moment for us to go on a journey together that could dramatically change the way that they run their business. And we're going to do it together. So turn your email off, put your phone on silent, connect with us. You may find your next best friend is here right now. You're not going to catch them on the record later. But we're going to go on this journey together. And this is an exceptional thing that's like, what an amazing thing that we just take for granted now, that we've pulled all these people from around the world that are interested in the same thing that we're interested in. It's like, oh, now we get to do this right now, live, together. We go on a journey. It's like, so commit to this now, right? Like, let's do this. Let's do this together. So anyway, I think setting it up like that completely changes it. It's like, oh yeah, pull that out of me. It was like, oh yeah, I was just going to half-ass it, and now I'm really going to plan this. I'm really going to plan because I think this could be, if I give it my all, then we commit to you that we've been planning this for so long. We commit to you that we're giving this our all. We're not checking our email. We're not doing any of that stuff now. We're committed to you. Let's go on this journey together, So it's just setting up the event.
Blue, you got to clip that monologue. That was great. It's
I
such
totally
Blue's like,
agree. That
yeah.
was beautiful, Grant. Of anything I heard today, that was the best.
Yeah, I think we can really just flip it on the head because we can get apologetic about it, right? And we can kind of be like, oh, we know you're busy, and we know that we know that you've got other stuff. I mean, you've got appointments. Totally get it. Let's see, whatever you get, it will be fine. And that's totally appropriate, and that's nice. But what if we were just to flip that all around and just say, give us 100% of your time, because if you make that investment, it will return to you. There'll be things in this that are really gonna change your life. Totally believe it, because we haven't half-assed our approach to this. We really believe in the content that we've got for you today, and so commit. Step up, commit, have your cameras on, let's do this together. We're on a journey.
The other thing I
Love
would
it.
say too, to follow along with this, is as business owners, we're not willing to put money in a wheelbarrow and light it on fire. But by giving attendees an out and saying, it's okay if you can't attend my event, you basically are doing that because they're not going to buy if they're not in the room. They have to be there to hear the content, hear your coaching, understand the offer. And if they're not there, you basically just threw away money and lit it on fire. And that's not what I guarantee none of us as business owners are doing that.
Wheelbarrow of money. I want a wheelbarrow
That's
of money.
awesome.
All
Let
right.
me flip it for you,
Yes.
for those who are fully in, who play full out, because I give them not as brilliant as the speech as you just gave, but I do give them something that I riff off of Tony Robbins or Dean Graziosi about
Sure, yeah.
chemical. And last year it was a 1 day event and they complained. They were like, I sat through 5 hours straight. I didn't know when I needed to get up to pee or when I could eat lunch. And I'm
Okay.
like, so then what I have always wondered is, do you see people adding like a small break in between
Yep.
an event? And
Yes.
is there a big chance of losing people though during that break?
Depends on how long it is,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Because if we're looking
If
at a
you've only
4 hour day.
if you've only got like a 10-minute break and you tell people what that's about,
Mm-hmm.
one of the things that I really love with these events is when I say, okay, we're gonna do like a bathroom break, go outside, and pick up something and come back and show us. Right? And it was really cool. It's a really simple, cool thing. People go outside, they pick up a leaf, they pick up a blade of grass, they get a branch, they whatever, come back and show us. Everyone comes back. Here's the proof that I went outside, right? And the things, and it's like you do this quick little, it's a little 2, 3 minute. Oh man, what have you got there, EJ? What have you got? You got a whole branch? What's that? That's amazing, or whatever. What it does, it's such a simple, simple thing, but what it does is it forces people outside. They get some fresh air. They stretch their legs. But everyone just had a common experience, and common experiences create common unity, creates community, right? Everyone comes back, and suddenly, I've now got a full screen of random things from the garden that people have done. Right? Real simple thing, but it was like, oh, that person that's on the other side of the country has just done exactly the same thing as me, as simple as that. And I now feel closer to them because of it. And so now we've got a drink, we've gone to the bathroom, we've ran outside, we've got some fresh air, we stretch our legs, we've done all of that, and we didn't give them 40 minutes or an hour to check their email and lose and just be pulled back into normal life. Like we've been able to stay focused on what we're about.
Would you
So
leave that
yeah.
open in the main stage or would you close and reopen?
Oh no, leave it open.
Yeah.
Countdown. Countdown, put some music on, have a countdown, 10, 15 minutes, whatever. And then have the gallery view and people can see people coming back. I've just got to say goodbye to my kids. So, but Blue can tell me how wrong I am.
I didn't think it was wrong. That was bang on. What about you there, Justin?
Same thing. Leave the stage open, put a countdown up. I find every time I close the main stage, we lose a certain percentage of people that just never come back. Like they get distracted into real life. They didn't set the right timer. They can't hear the music all of a sudden popped on if you had like a comeback song. We try to leave it open unless there's a really good reason to close it.
Yep.
I only had two really small technical questions before. I'm so sorry. Like we have a lot to cover because of the event coming up in the next few days. But we did broadcasts last time, like text message and email. So I'm just wondering, like, how well are these working? Should we not? Should we use our CRM Mailchimp? To remind them to show up. Hey, the next session's starting, etc.
If I was you, I would use every tool at your disposal to communicate with your attendees.
Mm-hmm.
When we do an event, I'll send broadcast emails from Obvio. I'll also send emails directly from Keep, which is the CRM that we use. And then I'll also send text messages. Now, usually the text messages sometimes I'll flip back and forth between the text message systems. Like I'll send some text messages from Obvio, but most of the text messages I send are from our own system internally. Just because, honestly, text messages are text messages. It's rare. Like deliverability isn't going to change all that much with text messages. So that's the good news. So
Maybe. It's getting harder and harder now.
Well,
Like as in every country is having all these extra rules that you got
yeah,
to do.
all these extra hoops to jump through
Yeah,
because
come
they
through.
saw it was probably the UK that started it, if we're being
Sway and
honest.
stuff.
But whatever. Yeah. So, yeah, that does that answer that?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And the last one was I saw while poking around in the settings that there's a question and answer setting. So how does that work? Like in terms of, we have a, let's say, a Q&A after the keynote session. Is it like those webinar functions through Zoom where, people can, where it's not living within Zoom chat? Like, how does that work?
Yes.
That you just said it exactly what it is. So when you turn it on, there's a new feed. In addition to chat, there's another button called Q&A, and people can submit questions. What I would say to you though, is if you are trying to use the dashboard as it's intended, which is a central place where your attendees know that this is where I go whenever I need information, right? This is where I'm going to navigate to. If I was you, rather than turning on Zoom chat, I would set up a form on your dashboard the same way we have on the dashboard that you use to come into this event. That is an ask a question form that allows users to submit questions, and then use the moderation tool inside of forms to manage your form responses. And also that way, you have an easy place to download all of your, everything in the future. It's just a little bit more robust in terms of the access and information that you have access to.
Okay,
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So this
great.
is this is forms. This is literally the form that you use to put the questions in. And so this was simply a question that is question, right? It looks a little bit confusing here, but when you step through it like this, it was just simply submit my question. Thank you for your question. And then when it came to add a question, in this instance, the question is, what is your question? And so that's and the type of it is a long answered text. And so that's how we have that. And then when you look at this option here, you can go to moderation, and that brings up this. And now you can have what's really cool about this is you can have a team member that is kind of moderating them or sort of sorting them. And then over here, like we call this sort of on deck, what you can do is you have this thing called stage view, and this could be opened on like an iPad or just on another screen. And so you as the host or whoever's answering the questions can have this view that's just sitting up on a screen. And now you're not hunting around through Zoom. You're able to see it. You're able to see it nice and big and easy, and you know that your team has kind of chosen those questions as well, right? Like as in, it's like yes, this one, and then this one, and then this relates to that, so let's put that in there as well, and away you go. The nice thing, of course, too, is that then you can follow up really easily with people that had questions in there, and so yeah, the whole thing makes it really nice. So we really like that tool. And we use it on this, like we've only got 15 people or whatever that have joined this, and we're still using this because it just makes it easier. And it also, particularly overnight when you're doing a multi-day, you can have people, when Zoom's not open, they can be putting all their questions in, right? Hey, I encourage you, if you thought of a question, put that in tonight as you think of them, come back and put them in, and we can revisit a few of those in the morning, right? Like, at that point is when you can say, hey, we got 10 questions about this. So clearly we didn't cover it very well or whatever. And so I just want to touch that on that again, whatever it is.
That's great.
Yeah, it's really
Yeah.
cool.
EJ, did I miss anything?
I don't think so. Nope. I think we've all of it's been covered.
We really appreciate the Obvio team. Thank you so much
This
for
was
supporting us.
super helpful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Thank
great.
you very much. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Thank you,
Yeah.
EJ. You're at the top of the class.
I
You
opened
caught on.
Obvio for the first time 3 days ago and got the rundown for this event, but I'm pumped. Yolanta was like, trust me, you've never seen a platform like this. Like it does everything you want. And I was like, yeah, we'll see,
What?
And
Sure.
I'll eat my words here. Yeah,
Mhm.
happy to
Yeah.
have a first run and use it for future stuff. Yeah.
That's really cool. Yeah. Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Grant, before we
Let's make
let
sure
them
we
go, I think
clip
there's a
that one
couple.
statement as well. You know, that,
Yes.
whatever. And then I was like, holy crap. Yeah.
So I think there's a couple more things to cover just based off some things we've said of showing them where some
Another
settings
hour
are.
or so.
But I also want to swing back to the SMS text messages. You can only do text message filters based off of tags or checked in or not checked in. Can't do it off form response. As an FYI. So in case you wanted to send a specific one based off their answer, there is no way to send that. But you can send it to general attendees or VIP. It has a little filter with the tags.
Thank you so much for that
And then-
clarification.
You are welcome. And then Grant,
Yeah.
can you show them where they would turn on local recording within the Zoom settings?
Mm-hmm.
Just in case you guys do end up going with the breakouts and local recordings.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I will show that. I would just say, if Blue was allowed to use Zapier as an example of an option, then I would say that if you wanted to, after you've done all the form responses, people have already gone all through, you can do an export of that, and you could re-import all of those back in as tags, right? Or like as custom fields. It could be it could be done.
What?
Yeah.
Say that again for what use case?
If you wanted to use like communications and things like the broadcasts and the text messages, but you wanted it to be based on a form response, you could sort
Mm,
of convert form
mm,
responses to normal groups. We call basically custom fields. We call groups,
okay.
and so you could create custom fields out of that, and so you could technically then have, albeit not updating, but you would have most of the people form responses there. It may not be a great suggestion. It just is a suggestion. And I'm just getting to the it's when you create the area. Okay, here it is.
Is actually a Zoom area setting
Oh, it's in the.
for all the areas.
There we go. Sorry. Yes. Okay. So you have it here. Turn on local recordings. So there's just a couple of things. We've added a couple of extra Zoom settings that are not in meeting settings, but they're just kind of the way that the Zoom is set up. And so, yeah, reactions. Can they see the whole transcript? Firing control is a very geeky one.
And these are global to all of the areas for this event.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Yep. So they're called Zoom user settings.
Yeah.
And so yeah,
And
it's
and someone will still need to click I want to record local when they're in the breakout, but we
they
are
have
giving them the option. Okay.
correct, and they won't be able to as a standard attendee, um,
Oh,
unless
just
you give them
co-hosts
yeah. So
from
or
the
the
main
people
room.
that yeah, all the people that have been given access to be able to do it. But yeah, it just meaning that not any random is able to just start recording, which is, what we're trying to avoid. They have to be allowed to. So cool. All right.
And then just be aware for those settings Grant was showing, some of them don't take effect until you actually close out of Zoom and restart it. So you'd have to exit the whole meeting, restart the meeting in order for them to take effect.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if they're set before you open a meeting,
They're
good.
set before you're good.
Okay.
There are also settings underneath each one of the areas. That's where you can get like the Q&A that you were talking about. Those you can only set when you create the actual area. If you decide you want to now turn on the Q&A, but you didn't turn it on when you created it, you have to either create a new room and then reassign all your buttons. That's one thing to be aware of.
Yeah.
So all the settings Grant's showing as he's creating a new room or a new area are only allowed to be set while you're creating the area.
When you create.
Okay.
Yeah. There we go. Heather, you've been remarkably patient. We sort of, we sort of touched on labels a little bit, right? But
Yeah, for sure.
is there a bit more of a deep dive we need to do on that, just to get an idea of that?
Right. Well, you clarified that labels are really just a designation. They don't really, like it's for the Zoom meeting, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Correct.
so I guess my real question then was tags, because what I have, of course, I'm in my summer theater production mode, so I'm constantly asking my Obvio questions for things that you guys didn't intend for Obvio to be used for, but we love it and it's great.
Oh, good.
So
Okay, great.
I've got my cast and everything in, but we want to track and give information to our volunteers through the dashboard as well. And so I want to put something that gives visibility labels, I think. If I'm talking wrong, please correct me. And so every year I use it. Every time I use Avio, I try to do something I didn't do before. And I
Nice.
think it's time to try to make the dashboard easier for the participants to read for what they're joining the program for.
Okay. And so what's the different type of information you want? It's sort of that there's a few different groups of people and they need to see something
Yeah,
different.
so the dashboard, the main thing we use the dashboard right now is to communicate with our families about rehearsal schedules, the different things that the kids need, etc.
Okay.
And we've always put our volunteer information in there as well, and just put our volunteers that didn't have family participants. They go in there, and so they see all this stuff. And
Right.
I was like, oh, well, I know that there's a way that depending on what type of participant you are, you can show them only certain parts of the dashboard.
Yes.
So
Absolutely.
I know it can be done, but I don't know how to do it.
No problems. Let me show you a couple of those things. So
And Heather, while Grant's pulling that up, labels are just for the name inside of Zoom.
Yeah. I thought I had them backwards.
Yep.
All right. So let me just show you here. And now you're just using Obvio standalone. It's not connected to a CRM or anything, or is it?
I could, but so it's a systems of operation thing. Our whole program is about teaching kids how to do different things. And so we actually have our kids set up our dashboard. Like I take them through setting up the dashboard. I have them do that. And they're 4th through 8th graders. And so trying to connect to Keep is just a little too much.
Yeah, it's great.
So again,
Keeps it easy.
I think if every parent actually signed in to our dashboard, it would be like 102 families. So they don't have any problem. I have 4 of them this year that they took turns. we created some things using AI to help them dump them in, so they kind of saw how AI can be used, and we're fine with that.
Super
So,
cool. Yep. No,
yeah.
it actually keeps it easier, and
Yep.
it's easier to have it just standalone. So if I'm looking at an attendee that is in the event that we're in right now, then we've got some tags here, and we've got a couple of groups as well as an example. So where a group is handy is when it's like this, I want to know color, their favorite color, and there's 6 or 7 different options. And so then it's a little bit easier to manage that um, when we're thinking about if color is this and if color is that, then we can display different things. Or you
Right.
can do tags, which is kind of just a one-off thing. So tagging someone as a VIP, tagging them as an older student or junior student, whatever it is, you may have a tag for that type of thing. So either one can be used for filtering. So if we just use this as an example, I just put in VIP. And just a little tip when we're adding tags, tags can have spaces in them, as you can see, room registration. And so because of that, when you're entering a tag, for it to know when the tag is finished, you have to hit enter or return, right? So that it's actually, because if we do 2 words, enter, then it's actually created the tag. If we did, and then I save, it's not going to save the tag, right? So that's just a little tip there. So what we can do, just before I save that, I'm going to copy this link so I can see. And so I'm going to use that VIP tag. So I've just saved that. Now when we're looking at the dashboard, there's a whole bunch of different sections, like buttons can have the rules on it. Okay, visibility rules. And so can, which is probably what we're talking about, is blog posts, right? Look.
Mhm.
So how to use this dashboard on here. Well, let me do a new one. So I'm going to add a blog post. As an example here. I'm going to add show components when tags include VIP. Okay, tags include VIP. And then I'm just going to make sure that it has all saved there. So now this is a post. This is only for Homer. I'm just double checking. Yep. And so now if I was to look, I saved this link, which is Homer's magic link. And if I look at Homer's magic link, I can see this is for Homer, only for Homer, right? Because the VIP was tagged. And so the point is that what's nice is that you can do, say for this one, what I can say is the opposite. So I could say tags does not include VIP, right? And this is where I'm excluding VIPs. So everyone is going to see that except for VIPs. So depending on
Okay.
how you're thinking about your content,
Yeah.
you might find that helpful. That needs a moment to update, but it'll. Oh, maybe it did do it. I can't remember what I did. Yeah, what was that one? Is that depending on how you've got your tag set up? Um, maybe I did it wrong. You might find that you want to include and exclude, and so that it depends. If you've got 3 different posts and you only explicitly include the ones that you want, then that'll work fine. A nice little tip here as well is that you can, in preview mode here, over here, you can add a tag for the preview,
Mm.
right? Like that. And so now that's shown. And my other post disappeared because I excluded VIPs. And so I got to see that in real time as an example without having to look at someone's. I was able to kind of hide that. So it's really powerful, and it's a great use case in what you're talking about, because it means that you're not just having a heap of content that is unrelated to that person. They only see the
Yeah.
thing that is really related to them, which
Yeah,
increases the
I love the
chances of them
idea.
reading it.
Yeah, we have quite a few participants and families, but a lot of our alumni like to come back and help with the show. And then
Nice.
we also have, depending on the shows, we have different things that are needed each year. And we advertise volunteers for that pretty heavily. And so, community members, they don't necessarily need to know the day-to-day in and out of rehearsal, but they do need to know when our volunteer times are and where they go, because we do different things at 3 different locations. So yeah. And
That's
so
really cool.
I know the biggest thing is just trust the technology, right? You put a tag in and then you go, okay, I hope it works.
Yeah,
So
so doing some tests is great for that, like grabbing a few of the magic links and just like, okay, if I was to look at Homer, what does it look like? Okay, what about Marge? Okay, yep, Marge is looking correct as well. And then there's Lisa, and okay, I'm confident now that, those examples from those different groups is correct. And so that's a good
okay.
way to do it. Yep.
All right, cool. Well, that
Mhm.
really is my question. Most of the stuff is just pretty easy to go through. Like I said, we love it. I use it for different things, but I haven't done an event yet. So I will. I will. It's just hasn't lined up yet. So
No, that's cool. Well, and I think it's amazing to see how people have been using it, because it's a really easy way, the dashboard of customizing it and giving people an individual link and that sort of stuff. So it's a great use case. So
yeah, we get asked about it all the time.
that's
So
cool.
and
Yep.
they're theater groups or extracurriculars for school. So
Yeah, right. That's
it's a
that's
big
amazing.
market. But
There
the
you go.
parents really appreciate it because we do not communicate at all through social media.
Yeah, nice.
So,
Oh, my
it's
oh,
hard to communicate to 13 and unders and
yeah,
go, well, we're not supposed to use social media, but here we're going to do it, and then expect kids not to have problems with it. So the
totally.
dashboard just allowed us to do that. And so many people are like, I can't believe this gives you all of this. The onboarding is the hardest.
Right.
The onboarding is the hardest. So we're on our second days of rehearsal, and I think we've got 5 families that they want to share it with their kids, and
Mm.
they're like, well, what we mean by share it with the kids is we just want you to send them an email. And I was like, well, we stand by what we say. And so technically the kids aren't supposed to have emails until they're this age. So
Right.
we send it to you and then you allow them
You pass it on.
access.
Yeah.
So, you know, um, it's been really interesting. So we love it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that's great. That's really cool, you guys. My
Yeah.
3 kids are all in theater.
Oh,
At the moment, we've got and my she was just here, but my 11-year-old is she's Alice in Wonderland coming up
awesome.
in a month or so. So that was pretty cool. And so she's
Awesome.
madly trying to learn all their lines because she's got a lot, but she's doing
Yeah,
great. So
learning lines is always fun.
yeah.
This year we're doing a show that not many people know about, The Magician's Elephant. But one of our
Ah,
biggest challenges is we have a life-size elephant puppet on stage.
oh, that's cool.
So
That's
we
cool.
started building it this morning. So
Amazing. Well, they just did Seussical, was
oh
the
yeah,
last one that they did. That yeah, they loved that. So
yep.
yeah, it's fun.
Yeah,
That's
theater is a great it's a great thing for a lot of reasons. Of course, I'm a little subject to it, but it
mhm.
it there's there's not very many activities that can generate creative thinking in just about every way you could possibly think of than theater can. So
Yeah, it's good
yeah.
community building too, right? Like it
Yeah.
kind of
Oh,
pulls the
absolutely.
whole
Yeah.
community in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, thanks for answering my questions.
Of course, you're very welcome. Justin, have
All
you
right.
you've been very patient wanting to jump in. I haven't given you any airspace.
I know you didn't
to
give
go.
it any here. Oh, good. I wanted to. I don't know if you mentioned this, but for tags, it is must equal. It's not a contains. You have to put the whole tag name there. It is case insensitive, so the casing doesn't matter, but the whole name needs to be there. And then, Grant, any chance you could share where you set the preview tag again? And because one of the things you glossed over is how the tag actually became that little pill with the X. Like it just happened. And I find a lot of people get stuck on
It
that.
was the same. It's the same again. I did mention about having to press enter, but I just didn't say about it in this one. But yes, it was once I wrote it, I had to press enter first and then
Yeah, when you
save.
click, everyone always wants to click that add button, and that's to add like additional, like groups or form
Yeah, like groups or
responses
whatever.
as
Yeah.
additional rules to put in for the preview. But for tags, type it in, hit enter, and it turns into a little pill. One other thing that's really cool and is super hidden, if you turn on preview, you would have all these tags set, and then go to other pages like that have rules like speakers or sponsors or Zoom backgrounds. It also will show you the preview of what it looks like with those rules applied. It's not obvious at all that it does that, but it will if you're in if you click preview here or click preview on the other pages while you have that set.
Right. Yes. That's interesting.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
whatever
Okay.
rules he set for
It just doesn't
before would take
actually.
effect on this one. Yeah.
We could actually just put the same
Very hidden
here and
feature.
yeah.
Yes.
Unintentionally hidden.
Yes.
Yep. Good one. All right. Well, we filled up the 2 hours. Is there anyone else that's been patiently waiting while we've answered 2 people's questions? Or 3, I guess it was. We did cover a lot of ground though, didn't we? There was I think there was a lot in there for everyone. So if there are no other questions, then we will call it for today. Right on the dot. 2 hours. Time fills up. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for coming along. All the best with how you're using Obvio. And 9 to 5 Eastern is when we have live chat, and we've got Carl and John that are here are keeping an eye on chat. And then we have help at obv.io. Help at obv.io is the email. And then, as I said at the start, help.obv.io is the knowledge base, which is actually becoming quite useful. So you can go and check that out too. Awesome. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.